Which means we are fundamentally good people, not fundamentally bad people. And this is not a small statement, because the prevalent view in Western thought is what I like to call the Darwinian Freudian model. And that is that, in Freud's terms, the ID, is the driving force inside of us, which is what? A selfish, self-absorbed narcissist that's interested in its own pleasure. It's the sexual pleasure. And then there's an ego and a superego that so-called monitor and somewhat harness and control that inner craving, inner narcissist. You know, some call social Darwinism, that's captured by Richard Dawkins, our resident atheist of our times, one of them. So he has a book called The Selfish Gene. That's what it's called, the selfish gene. Making the argument, the radical evolutionary argument, that life, every species and every cell is selfish. All it's interested is in its own survival. If its survival requires cooperation with someone else, great. But it's also for selfish reasons. A very pessimistic view on life, basically. In contrast to all of that, the Torah says, and thank God the Torah precedes all these great thinkers, that the human being is fundamentally a good creature, a divine creature, which can be concealed, like Michelangelo said, in marble, in concrete, in other substances. But at the heart of it, you're a pure divine entity forever and ever. And it's not the id that drives you, but it's the yid, the Y-I-D, the Pintele yid, the spark, call it spark of the divine, that's really like the pilot flame within you. The soul. And the Neshama shenasate bi taharahi, the soul that you've given me, as we say every morning in the prayer, is pure. So no matter what happens to you in life, may obfuscate that, it can conceal it, it can veil it, shield it, whatever, all the different words you want to use. It may hide and protect itself in very many thick layers of armor to protect ourselves, but the spark never extinguishes. And that's what Moses revealed on Yom Kippur, and that's what God acknowledged. The spark never goes out. Doesn't matter how much, what happens. And we see it in our own lives. The fact of the matter was, each of us began as a newborn child, pure. And God forbid, even if you had the worst possible parents, or no parents, they just abandoned you. I don't want to say you, they abandoned someone. You still have that spark. It's true, healthy parents would nurture it, would cultivate it, would reassure you, reinforce and validate that spark within you. So of course gives you a much greater chance of actualizing it. But regardless what happens, the spark never disappears.